Welcome to another exercise. This one is going to be on deals with analyzing and distributing cash dividends to preferred and common stock holders of a company. And in this particular case, we're going to be dealing with a special type of preferred stock called cumulative preferred stock. All right. So, a couple of words before we get started. We hopefully know that common stockholders do have some advantages. They get to vote. Preferred stockholders don't get to vote. That doesn't really matter a whole lot. Common stockholders are eligible for things like stock splits and so forth, and preferred stock doesn't usually have those items. That would be advantages. But so what's the advantage of preferred stock? Again, you probably already know this, but preferred stock is preferred as to dividends. Still, usually, if a corporation, a corporation usually does not have to pay common stock or preferred stockholders any dividends whatsoever. And if the year passes and they didn't pay them, that's just tough luck. However, that's not the case when a company issues something called cumulative preferred stock. And so when we deal with cumulative preferred stock, if a company gets behind in their payment of the preferred stock dividends, and this only pertains to cumulative preferred stockholders, but we have to deal with something called arrears, and that's ARREARS. And so whenever something is in arrears, we're behind on the payment of it. So if a corporation does not pay its cumulative preferred stockholders the amount that they owe them, or all of it in full, then whatever amount they don't pay on a year-to-year basis is said to be in arrears. So there's a special way that we would account for this. The first thing that we want to do is look at the scenario, and it says Moser Company began business on March 1st of 2018. At the time, it issued 20,000 shares of $60 par value, 7% cumulative preferred stock. Okay, that's very important information. And 100,000 shares of $5 par value common stock. All right. And then through the end of 2020, there has been no change in the number of preferred and common stock shares outstanding. Okay, great. So it says here, assume that Moser declared and paid cash dividends of $0 in 2018, $183,000 in 2019, and $200,000 in 2020. Compute the total cash dividends and the dividends per share paid to each class of stock for those 3 years. Okay, so the first thing we have to do to figure this out, to have any chance, well, 2018 is pretty easy because they didn't pay any dividends. But what we want to consider is how much are they on the hook for with these cumulative preferred stockholders on an annual basis. And to do that, we're going to need our calculator. So we'll bring that right here. So we have 20,000 shares. We're going to multiply that by the par value times the percentage of the dividend. So we're going to take that times 0.07. Okay? So $84,000 is the amount that the cumulative preferred, let's see, not CM. We'll just write it out. How about that? Cumulative preferred dividends per year. All right. And so, again, that's 20,000 shares times $60 par times 7%. So if we came up with a generic formula for this, it would be number of shares times par value times the percentage of the dividend. Okay, so that's how much we owe the preferred stockholders on an annual basis. Common stock doesn't work like that. Common stock just gets the remainder of what's left over. So in 2018, it says that they paid 0 dividends. So this doesn't take us any kind of effort at all. The amount going to preferred stockholders is 0, and the amount per share is going to be 0. And the same thing is going to be true for common stock. Okay. However, we want to recognize that in 2019 they paid $183,000. So how do we figure out how much goes to preferred and how much goes to common? Well, they paid out $183,000, and because this is cumulative preferred stock, we have to say what's $84,000 for 2018 plus $84,000 for 2019, and that comes to $168,000. So we can plot that figure right here. If this was just regular preferred stock, the answer would just simply be $84,000, because we wouldn't owe the corporation wouldn't owe anything for the year 2018. However, that's not the case. And so we can also say, okay, well, we paid out $168,000. We have 20 shares. We can 20,000 shares. We can divide that by those 20,000 shares, and we get a per share dividend for preferred stock of $8.40. Now, common stock just gets what's left over. So they paid out $183,000. Let me go back. I may have missed that 183. Okay, minus $168,000 equals $15,000. So that's how much common stock got in dividends, $15,000. And then we can find the number of shares that were issued divided by 100,000. Gives us 15 cents, 0.15, and they've already got the dollar sign there, so I'm going to erase that 1. Okay, and then, so get rid of this 15 cents. It says they paid $200,000 in 2020. Okay, so this is when it actually is going to finally pay off to be a common stockholder. So we already figured out how much is owed to the preferred stockholders, the cumulative preferred stockholders, on a yearly basis. We owe them $84,000, and because we made them whole in 2019, we don't have any dividends that are currently in arrears. So all we have to do is just drop this $84,000 right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just show you $200,000 was paid out in total minus $84,000. So that means the other $116,000 went to the common stockholders. Okay, and then we need this per share amount over here. So actually, I've got the $116,000 on the calculator, so I'm just going to divide by the same 100,000 shares. So I get $1.16. And over here, we paid out $84,000 based on our formula right here, divided by the same 20,000 shares, gives us $4.20. All right. and then they're going to change the scenario on us, some anyway. Still paying out 0 in 2018, but we're paying out $84,000 in 2019, and then $150,000 in 2020. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We can just go ahead and enter zeros everywhere 2018 since they didn't pay anything. They only paid out $84,000 in 2019, and so what we would say here is that they basically made good on their 2019 amount, but 2018 is going to be in arrears still. Okay, so if they only paid out $84,000 in 2019 in total, all $84,000 went to the cumulative preferred stockholders, so that means common stockholders got 0. Now notice up here we already had a situation where the preferred stockholders, the cumulative preferred stockholders, got $84,000, and so we've already done this math, so we can just get the per share amount, and then that's $84,000 divided by the 20,000 shares, which I think is just barely visible, gives us a per share dividend amount of $4.20, and then we would just enter 0 for the common stockholders on both the total and the per share basis. In 2020, we have to recognize that we owe another $84,000 for 2020, and we also still have dividends in arrears totaling $84,000 for 2018. So if we paid out $150,000, okay, in 2020, well, that's easy enough to put down. But we still owe actually $18,000 to the cumulative preferred stockholders. We would have had to have paid out $168,000, or for 2 years, same as what we did right here. We would have to pay $168,000 or $84,000 a year, $84,000 for 2020 and $84,000 for 2018 to get everybody whole. So we've got $150,000 that were paid out in the year 2020, and we still have the same 20,000 shares. So we paid out per share to the cumulative preferred stockholders $7.50 per share. Common stockholders will get nothing again, and there won't be any per share amount for the common stockholders. So as we begin the next year, 2021, we would 2021 $18,000 in cumulative preferred stock. That's what that stands for. I just made it up. Cumulative preferred stock dividends in arrears. So if we were to pay out, let's just say $100,000 in 2021, well, the preferred stockholders would get their full 84, and then they would get 16 of this. Common stock would then get nothing again, and we would have at the end of 2021, if we paid $100,000 out, we would have $2,000 still in arrears. Okay? All right. Well, thank you for watching.